So, one of my girls thought it was funny to put a banana peel on my head, and I forgot to remove it before going to work. It just totally slipped my mind. But on the way to work, someone asked me. They said, "How are you doing? How are you doing in the introduction to Braille class?" I said, "Don't ask me. It's a touchy subject." And and then finally, I got asked if I wanted to go find out about a religion, which is based around frozen custard. I was told if I wanted to learn about it, I had to go to Sunday school. That's all I want now. I just want exasperated sigh. I'll take exasperated sigh.
Oh,
there you go. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, I mean,
will it stop?
No, it won't. No, it won't.
No?
It'll never stop. I mean, even though I've had to hunt these down in literally the last 30 seconds, just don't take that as a sign that I will be stopping. You know, it's like a good towel joke. It's all dry humour. Anyway,
No. That no.
It does.
No.
It works.
No, it doesn't.
Works. It does
no,
work.
It doesn't.
It does work. It does.
Doesn't.
If you okay, fine. Why do I like Diet Rubber? Why don't I like the movie Rubber? No. Anyway, no. Stop it. Steady. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the Black Dog version 253. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim. I'm on delay.
Yeah, one of us may be coming through on Wi-Fi. Can you guess who it is, ladies and gentlemen? Anyway, so yes, yeah, can't say. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to 153. This week we'll be doing the usual stuff of seeing how everyone's week's been, doing any feedback for last week's film, which was World War fucking Z. And then we'll be moving on to this week's movie, which is your choice, Jim, which is
Snowpiercer.
Okay, brilliant. And we'll be doing that soon enough. So, before we get to that, let's do everyone's week, or see how everyone's week's been. And we will start with you as ever, Jim. How has it been, sir?
A bit grotty, because my immune system is, still shite. Because I had to go to the hospital last week. I've had the rest of the week having a lovely bit of sniffles and cold and cough. So I'll apologise now for like hacking and coughing and snotting. And
right.
It's that annoying thing where it's you just feel a bit ill. Not properly ill, where you can just say, right, give me the brandy and the honey, I'm going to bed for 3 days.
Yeah.
Just a bit, being a bit crap, but not
just
being really irritating.
Ill enough.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, shit. That is pretty shit. Oh God. So, yeah.
But on the upside, I did find something very cool. I don't know if you're familiar with the National Theatre have what they call an at-home service.
Oh right, they come and just like set up the entire stage in your front living room, do they?
Well, sort of virtually, yes. I mean, basically, it's kind of. I think you can get it as like an extra channel bolt on Prime somewhere, but you can actually simple that. You just go to the National Theatre website, and they've got tons of productions they have filmed from for the last few years, and you can rent one for 3 days for like £8, or I think it was,
cool.
Which is a very reasonable price. And so we watched the Danny Boyle directed 2011 production of Frankenstein. Starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Johnny Lee Miller.
Johnny Lee Miller?
He's from the alternative universe.
He was very reflective.
He had a goatee in it all the way through. And an eye patch.
Oh, nice.
But yes, yeah. And it was really, really good.
Yeah.
Apparently with this production, they did a thing of where Miller and Cumberbatch would swap roles every other night. So the one I saw, it was Cumberbatch as the creature and Johnny Lee Miller.
You're going to keep saying
Miller as Dr. Frankenstein.
Nice.
But they also have the other performance film where they swept. I can't speak tonight.
Wow, are you running the teeth in for a horse or something? What's going on there?
The cough medicine's getting a bit much, I think.
All right,
but so there's 2 versions of it. So we're going to watch the other one at some point, probably in the run up to Christmas. But
nice.
It was really, really good.
I've seen the other one.
Yeah. Any good?
Yeah, very good. Excellent. Lee Miller's really, really good as the monster, and Cumberbatch is really good as the Doctor.
Nice.
In that one.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah, so we've got tons of stuff up there. So if you're looking for it, you want to go to the theatre, but you can't be asked to go out, or like me, it's not advisable to go out where there's lots of other people.
Yeah.
You can see some of these marvelous productions. So we're going to be dipping in again because for the price of not much less than a pint or an extortionate coffee these days.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. You get your virtual ticket, they send you a link, and then click cast a big screen. Yep, National Theatre on my big telly at home. Fantastic,
nice.
And really well filmed as well. A nice balance of getting the feeling of the theatre, but being cinematic as well. And you get to see things the audience wouldn't see, from like overhead shots and stuff. Really, just very well done.
Nice.
I was that impressed. I've done an episode on it,
right?
Reviewing that particular production, because it is the best version of Frankenstein I've seen on screen ever.
Nice.
It's the most faithful to the book, and really, really good stuff. But the main thing is, though, no, I wasn't aware of this. I knew they were filming stuff, and they'd done sort of like limited release sort of theatre, cinema showings of various productions. But now tons of them are online for you just to rent for a couple of quid.
Nice.
So, well worth a look.
All right. Okay. And where did you get it? The National Theatre website?
This National Theatre's website, they've got like an online section, which is the National Theatre at Home program, of where all the stuff you can rent and watch online.
Okay.
Which is very, very cool. And so it's kind of, there's a few things there. We keep an eye on that.
Yeah. See Johnny Lee Mirror's other work.
Yeah. Johnny through the looking glass.
Yeah.
Miller on the wall.
Nice.
Johnny go.
Yeah. Mirror's Edge. Anyway. Cool.
Don't forget Mirror's Crossing.
Oh yeah, Mirror's Crossing. Yeah. Nice. Brilliant. Cool. Nice.
It actually shares something positive and uplifting, and that people might not be aware of, because I wasn't aware of this kind of at all. And it's kind of like, really? And it's kind of,
yeah,
a whole new vista of online entertainment has opened up.
A whole new world. Nice. Okay. Excellent. Cool. Anything else, sir?
No, I think I'll leave that there and quit while I'm ahead.
Okay. Leave it there and quit while you're ahead. Good work. Okay. So, Elton, all very spontaneously, how's your week?
Well, I'm here to inject some flavour into this discussion.
Flavour?
I don't know. I don't know.
Some flavour, boy?
I don't know. Okay, so quickly.
Blackcurrant?
No. Oh, fucking hell, it's already happening. Oh, jeez.
Come on. I believe in you, Elton. You can do it.
I need to change some taps in my house.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
And the two taps I need to change, because they're knackered, it is the bath ones.
Oh.
And they are the only ones without the little screwdriver shut-off valve on the pipes, which is fucking frustrating. So we got this thing called Home Serve, where someone can come out and do this thing for you and point you in the right direction. And I'm like, do you know what? Why not? Let's use it. My mum's used it successfully, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's go for it. And so I was hoping they might come round and point out where our stopcock is, because I don't fucking know where this fucking stopcock is.
Yeah.
And because we've got this little thing on the driveway that says water. You'd naturally think that's where you shut off the water to the house.
Yes.
And I've looked in there several times. I can't see anything in there. And we had this guy come round at the weekend, and he went, right, okay, what do you need done? I said, right, I need taps changing. If you can put some valves on there, that'll be amazing. And could you show me where the stopcock is, please? That'll be great. And he looked around the house, couldn't find the stopcock. And he went, well, if I can't turn off the water, then I can't do anything. I said, okay, fine. The mains water, as far as we know, is under that little house in the driveway.
Yeah.
And so he had a little look. He went, can't see anything in there. So that's 2 people that have verified that there's nothing in there. And I've been in there a couple of times and looked with a very powerful torch, and I couldn't see a single thing in there. Amanda went in there and found it immediately. So we clearly just man-looked.
Man-looked. That's a new one, that, isn't it?
Oh! Have you never discovered man-looking?
I've never mind you, probably man-look all the time. I get this a lot from Ree when she says, so if you got that thing that you were looking for, I can't find it. Let me have a look. Ah, there it is.
There you go. That's man-looking.
I was going to say something about finding a stopcock, but no, never mind.
Even a stopcock is right twice a day.
Or is it hangs to the right twice a day? No?
Okay. There we go. Never knowing the upbrow.
So anyway, this guy went away saying, well, I can't turn the water off to your house, so I can't do anything, so I'll come out in a couple of days' time once you've got the Anglian water people in to have a look and find out where the bloody stopcock is for the house. I was like, okay, fine. And then we looked on the paperwork for the house, and we know where the stopcock is for the house, in the house, and couldn't turn it. So I was like, fuck. But, you know, when was it last turned? Maybe 100 years ago, I suppose, when they turned the water on for the house, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So we got that. We know where that is. And then Amanda looked in this little valve cover and found the actual switch, the little stopcock. So I phoned up Anglian Water, said, "No, you don't need to come out. We found it, but I need to go and buy a spanner for it tomorrow. So wish me luck tomorrow because I'm turning all the water off. I might inadvertently turn off the water for the Diana Memorial Fountain. I do not know. I don't know where this actually leads. I think it covers the house. It may not, though. We don't know.
Don't worry. She's a ghost now, I've been told. She forgives everyone.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, keep your fingers crossed for tomorrow. Otherwise, I may call either drought or flood. I'm not too sure which.
Right, okay.
I can
cool.
see the news tomorrow. I really can. News just in: the River Thames has burst its banks.
River Thames has been drained. We have no idea why.
And Essex is flooded.
Yeah. The massive floodplains of Essex. Meanwhile, the Thames has become a walkaway. Yeah, nice. Cool.
No need for bridges anymore. You can just drive over it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's it. Actually, there's a Starbucks there already. It's just a walk-through shop. Nice.
Also, has anyone had this situation? So you're sat in a car park.
Oh, I've sat in a car park loads of times.
Oh, yeah.
Good. So we can all tick that off, yeah?
I'm due to be in one straight after this, actually.
Yeah.
So can we hurry it up?
I'm supposed to be in a car park.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be in a car park around about there. You don't need to know why.
Best not ask.
I'll be joining a few other people. Or not.
On the M6.
On the M6. Yep. In a lay-by.
Just
literally.
Guys.
Yeah.
Just chaps.
Yes.
Yep.
Anyway, so we can all tick that off so that we've sat in a car park, yes?
Yes, I think we've done that. Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We've also, I'm guessing, while we've been sat in said car park, watched someone really struggle to park their car.
Yeah.
To the point where you find it a bit amusing.
Judgment is laid upon that person from a point of view of somebody who doesn't actually drive. You know, so I feel as though I'm qualified to judge a person on the way they drive, even though I don't actually, legally drive ever. No, I have driven. I have kept death off the pavements and put it on the road. I really have. But yes, that was a long time ago.
Right.
Okay, with that, has anyone while they're sat in a car park watching someone awkwardly try to park, have that person get out their car after they've seen you looking at them trying to park, then tap on the window and then go, "Would you park my car for me, please?"
What?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Wow, that's a new one on me. I'll be honest with you. No.
So first, the only one in this room, yes, to do that.
You are,
yes,
beautiful.
The only person ever.
So I was sat. We all know the situation. I was sat in this car park, and this lady came along with this massive car, this estate car, and she had two choices on where she could park. One was next to me and one was opposite me, but to the right hand side in that space. So the kind of both sides, opposite sides of the car park.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see her trying to judge either left hand down or right hand down where the wheels go and everything. And you're like, you're not doing this very well. I may have made the little gun sign in my head and then pulled the trigger as if to shoot my own brains out when she was doing this. And I think she may have seen me doing that.
You did the inside voice out loud, didn't you?
I did, yes.
That's what you did.
Yes.
Right?
And so she got out of the car, walked up to my window, went, oh, for fuck's sake, what? So, wound down the window, went, you all right? Could you park my car for me, please? I went, okay. Oh, really? God. She went, yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. And I thought, I'm pretty good at this. And it's one of the things I can actually turn around and say, I'm pretty good at it.
I'll park your car for you. I'm doing some plumbing tomorrow.
Indeed.
Yes, I've got someone coming to fix my taps. Would you like a hand?
I also deliver pizza on the side.
Yeah. Do you know how to find a stopcock? I'm sure I can help you with that.
I'm a landlord, yes, and when people can't pay their rent, I find them other ways to pay their bill.
Yeah. Do you have a faulty fax machine?
Yeah, brown chicken, brown cow. You just stand there with a baseball cap and a monkey wrench or something. Yep. Yeah. Nice, good work, Elton.
Can I just ask, Elton, when you were watching this video, did you think somewhere out there
watching this video?
No, sorry, this woman parked the car. Did you think that somewhere out there? Did you think though that somewhere out there that somebody on a hidden camera show was earning 50 quid?
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Well, if they were, then I ruined their shot because it was a case of, okay, fine, put it in reverse, done. And she just looked at me and went, oh, okay.
I thought you were going to say that the car was in gear and you'd put your foot on the accelerator, you got in and switched on it, straight over the fucking bunny off the edge and straight to the next car park.
Just the good old boys.
Oh, shit.
Never meaning no harm. Eastbound and down, rolling around on trucking. Just zipping around. Yeah, nice.
But when I sat in the car,
none
of her mirrors were actually pointing at anything. Which was
what? Johnny Lee mirrors?
Yeah, Johnny Lee mirrors.
I don't know what that means.
When he was trying to say Johnny Lee Miller.
Oh, you've done it. You've said it now.
Yeah, I'm trying to pretend I'm doing it ironically. I'm not. But
that was that.
Sure.
Maybe not for the listener, but for us, that was over half hour ago. So,
yeah,
30 minutes later.
Yeah, a lot of shit has passed between us saying Elton and how was your week?
Yes. But, I sat in the car and looked in the mirrors, and because you need the mirrors to park, and the rearview mirror on the windscreen was facing down at the seats behind me, and the side mirrors
we
were
are back to docking,
pointing,
aren't we?
Yeah. It's a fake taxi I got in.
Yeah. All the seats are wiped clean. And there's a camera. There's a camera on a tripod in the passenger seat. Everything smells vaguely of disinfectant and baby oil, and I don't quite know.
Then I made my excuses and left.
Yeah.
I noticed she was into leather goods.
Yeah, the gear stick was somewhat tacky, but I let it go.
Why? I've never seen anyone else with a rubber balaclava.
Yeah, why would they need one of those in a car? It's not going to help them with the shopping at all. Most unusual shopping bag I've ever seen in my life. Just looks like a harness you'd hang off a roof. Anyway,
your oranges will fall out of there, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Brown chicken, brown cow. Chicka chicka bow wow.
Anyway,
Yeah, sorry.
Not to give it a bit of a crap ending, but yes, I parked the car. She was stunned and walked off, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
She did come back and collect her car keys, though, didn't she? Before she just walked off. You didn't just keep them and think, oh, there we go. A new 4x4. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
That was the prize for parking it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those kind of Saturday afternoon TV shows. Oh, yeah, you've won a car.
Yeah.
No, it was a bit grim inside.
Well, we've already established that. You were on fake taxi, mate.
Was the dashboard slightly sticky?
Yeah.
Was it was all the inside slightly sticky?
Did you notice when the air vents came on that there was 2 footprints on the inside of the windshield that just simply refused to clean? Refused to go away with the air blower. Anyone? No.
No jars of Swarfega or anything like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh dear. This back seat's filthy. They seem to have spilt donut batter everywhere.
That's an incredibly strange nozzle on the end of that dustbuster.
Why is it
one would think you could always fit a man's pit? Oh.
Oh. Oh. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Why is this lady's name on the driver license check? What is going on here? Sorry, that's obviously just for me then. Right.
So yeah, that's my week.
That's your week.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. That was a most entertaining week, sir. Right. Okay. So Darren, what about you?
What about me?
Well,
I'm currently at home, not going to work because I'm down with the Rona.
Got the Rona.
Although,
how many times is this now?
This is my second attempt.
Okay.
My second attempt. Yep. At the Rona. I'm actually not too bad at all. I've not really had a terrible time. I have to think to myself, was that a false positive that I have? Because really, it's nowhere near anything like it was last time. I actually feel quite human.
Well, you have had how many injections since then?
Oh God, fucking loads.
Yeah,
loads. I'm due another one at some point. I think I'm due from a booster shot, but
that's right. I saw it in the news. Was it over 70s have got to turn up?
Well, no, it's just that the radio transmissions are starting to stop. So I can't pick them up. You know,
I got a text message from Bill Gates saying, "Where the fuck are you?
Come in, number 57. Your time is up.
Where the fucking hell are you? I've been following you for hours. Where you gone?
Indeed,
You've disappeared."
But let's see, what have I done this week? Let's see. I started watching the animated show Justice League.
Okay.
And I have to ask the question, like, why is the planet Earth employing such a useless bunch of fucking heroes? That's all I've got to say. They're so bad. Superman keeps getting knocked unconscious. Wonder Woman keeps losing her bloody rope. The Flash keeps getting tripped over. Martian Manhunter keeps getting hit by a psychic bolt every single episode.
Nice.
Every time. It's like, how do they get anything done? And Jon Stewart just stands there moaning about stuff.
Right.
Jon Stewart being the Green Lantern.
Yeah, I was going to say not the pundit. No,
this is the one that everybody.
It'd be more entertaining if it was.
And not only does Flash keep getting tripped over, he's a bit of a fucking sex pest as well. Oh, well, Jesus Christ!
That's point, isn't it? Oh, hang on, getting confused with the real world there. Allegedly,
allegedly. Hang on, life imitating art, somewhat.
Yeah, No, it's that the one everybody loves. Seriously, I'm watching it thinking this is shite.
Oh, what the CN one?
Yeah,
Cartoon Network one.
I gave up watching it in the end. That's it. I did about 17 episodes of season 1. It was like, I've had enough of this.
Ah.
I'm done. I am done. So, yeah, I'm there. So that's that. So steering well clear of that. Never going back to that again.
All right.
What else did I watch today? I discovered on Netflix they've got a few short films based on Roald Dahl's work. They're about 17 minutes long, 20 minutes long, these things. And I've watched the first one, which is called The Rat Catcher.
Right.
Which has got Richard Ayoade. Sorry, I'll get his name right in a minute.
Johnny Lee Miller.
Yeah, Johnny Lee Miller.
Yeah.
Richard Ayoade.
Yeah.
And it's Ralph Fiennes as well. And it's all about this rat catcher that comes to this village to dispose of these rats that's causing a bit of a plague. And, I'm not going to spoil it, but the performances are spot on. It's funny, but fuck me, does it end in a dark place. Yeah. So, I recommend that. As I say, it's called The Rat Catcher, and it's on Netflix, and it's one of about 4 or 5 movies that they've done. One of them's got Benedict Cumberbatch in it as well, called Poison. That's like a 17-minute job. Okay. So there's another couple after that.
And that's on Netflix, yeah?
That's on Netflix, and it was directed by Wes Anderson.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And they've done the Henry Sugar one with Cumberbatch.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
So they've got another one with him. Yeah, he's done one called Poison.
Nice.
So, and the other one I think is about a boy that gets to give comeuppance to a couple of bullies that chase him into a forest. So I want to see that one as well. So that sounds quite good.
Yep.
But so anyway, that's the TV watching out of the way. So where did I go this week? Well, Jen Williams was doing a talk in Guildford, which is just down the road from where I live, a talk on the roots of fantasy. And she had 2 other authors with her, a guy called Mark Stay, and also a new author, A.Y. Chow, who's just brought out, I think it's called Shanghai Immortal, the book. Sounds quite interesting, but trying to get there, right? So the thing begins at 6:30 at night, so I leave extra early from work. So I've got to come all the way from central London, back home, and then on to Guildford, right? So managed to leave work at 3, catch the train that I was intended on. It gets going. As we go in along there, I notice it's the time between stations is getting longer and longer, right? So it's slightly delayed. And I'm thinking, fuck, I'm going to miss my connection, aren't I?
Yeah.
We pull in to the station with 4 minutes to spare. I've got to run across the footbridge and get to the train on the other side, right?
Right.
Fly off the train, get over the footbridge, manage to just get to the train in time. The ticket collector's like, don't go any further than the second carriage. I'm like, oh, why? He goes, because there's 2 blokes up at the end there who've got knives. I'm like, oh,
nice,
fucking brilliant,
yeah,
wonderful. So
you're selling them.
Yeah, they were selling them.
Yeah, could do you a good line in butter knives and maybe even a cheese knife if you want one. Yeah,
indeed.
Sharpen your knives. Sharpen your knives.
Sharpen your knives. So I'm like, oh, great, fantastic. Now I should have realised at the time that once they dealt with these people that they were going to cancel the train, but they haven't said anything like that. So I wander up a couple of carriages and just stand there thinking, right, the police will turn up in a minute and they'll deal with it. So apart from all the school kids thinking this is really cool, it was quite funny. I passed 8 of them right? These teenagers stood around this door and they go, look, there's 8 of us and 2 of them. What happens? One of us dies at the most. We can rush them. I'm thinking, yeah, go on then. Yeah, go on then. Off you go.
The cold calculus of math.
Yeah, off you go. If this gets me back home sooner, then please be my guest. You know,
nice. Yeah,
be my guest. Be my guest.
I
hope you're wearing a stab vest.
I've been stabbed right through the chest. Be my guest. Be my guest. Be my guest. Yes.
So I'm standing there. I can see right down the train because through the glass in the door, and I can see that, first of all, they're in the carriage. They're in like the first class. That's where they're sitting, these 2 blokes.
Yeah.
First policeman turns up. He's this short bloke. And I'm thinking, no, you're going to need more than that for this, I think.
Yeah.
Then another burly one turns up.
Right.
And I'm thinking, all right, maybe the odds have kind of evened out a little bit, but I don't think so. Right. And then 3, I think they call them SO19s turn up.
Ah, gun guys.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So they haven't got like automatic rifles on it, but you can see they've got these great big fucking taser guns strapped to their sides.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, they managed to defuse the situation, but then after that's all dealt with, it's like, I'm not worried about my life. I'm more getting angry at the fact that somebody's, you know,
fucked up your train schedule.
Yeah, fucked up my train schedule. It's like, you fucking cunts. Why did you have to fucking do this now? Why now? Yeah, I had to fucking walk all the way home after that. We did manage to get there though in the end, about 10 minutes later, I think it was. But no, really, really good evening. About the roots of fantasy.
Nice.
So that was good. So the 3 authors talking about that. So that was great. So there we go. So apart from the Rona, I think that's about it for me.
Got the Rona. He's got the Rona. Okay. I'm only filling in because basically ain't a lot happened in my week. I suppose. Yeah, I got the Spider-Man game. Spider-Man on the PS5.
Oh, which one is that? The one with Miles Morales in it, or
that's Spider-Man 2, the one with both of them.
Oh, right, yes. I've been seeing many clips.
It is
the gameplay.
Fucking great. It was really good. So much so that unfortunately I absolutely rinsed it, and I finished it.
Oh. All right.
Completely platinumed it. I've done all the little side quests, found all the extras, found all the little secret bits and pieces.
You pulled the tripods.
Right. No, I didn't just go north, sneeze. I actually fucking...
North, Venom. There we go.
Oh, man. Seriously. Yeah. If you want to see how Venom should be done, this is how Venom should be done. You don't fuck with Venom in this. No.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But as with the other Spider-Man games, it's kind of a completely different origins for some of the characters and different takes on the characters. So there's a lot of characters which you see who are becoming reformed villains. So like Kurt Connors is now like a scientist working for Oscorp. He knows he's the Lizard, but he keeps it under control with a drug. You know, there's all little things like that. And then basically, as New York is settling down from the events of the last game, Kraven the Hunter comes in and he starts picking off all the villains, whether they've reformed or not. And that's the main plot. And that's his thing. He's becoming his ultimate hunting ground. So he's hunting down the Scorpion, he's hunting down the Vulture, he's hunting down Mr. Negative. You know, he's finding them all and he's picking them off one by one.
Yeah, not so tough when they're like a librarian or they're a bag packer at Tesco's, you know.
No, but
I failed you in the cake aisle.
No, but that's
Kraven the Hunter.
yeah. No, he's more like he's trying to bring them back to being villains again. So in the case of Kurt Connors, he finds the, you know, he sort of denies him the antidote, and so he will turn back into the Lizard, and then it sort of goes, right, have some more of that, and gives him the lizard venom, lizard serum, and sort of superpowers him so that the Lizard is now sort of more Godzilla than he is. He is just a bloke in a lab coat. So he was pretty fucking evil as well. So there's a whole sequence where if you catch him right, he's running up the side of a building. You're literally trying blasting all bits of glass and everything with your heels dug into the windows, and you're going all the way up. Anyway, it was very impressive. The set pieces were very impressive. If it has that open world problem of it gives you so many side quests that if you just do the side quests, you find yourself becoming overpowered fairly quickly, and it has to gate off certain things in story mode, so you can't get a certain power until you get to story mode sort of things forward. You have missions which are specifically for Miles, specifically for Peter, so you flip-flop between them, and it was just a great game. And they have a Marvel stinger at the end of the credits when you finish the game, so don't turn the game off once you've finished it. Go for the stinger. It's superb. The Marvel Spider-Man games on the PS4 and the PS5 are absolute top tier games. They are so good. I absolutely love them.
They're by Sony, aren't they?
By a company called Insomniac, who do.
Right.
And
okay,
and it's published through Sony, so they're exclusive to Sony at the moment. But brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I loved every single second of it, even the more irritating levels where they give you the old web wings, so you have to sort of sail off the top of very tall buildings to do certain missions and sort of drift through air currents and stuff like that. But absolutely brilliant. So that's my video game bit. The only other thing I've done is I went down to Southampton to meet a few friends, so that was good. But I also watched and finished Bodies on Netflix.
Oh right, okay.
Oh yes.
How'd you find that?
I'm still trying to get my head around it. The reason I'm saying that is because there was so much about it, and I know I've said this before in terms of Loki last week and something else the week before that. But there's this definite streaming. Oh yeah, the Fall of the House of Usher, wasn't it? Where there's this very definite streaming service thing where you think this story is 4, maybe 5 episodes. It's not 8 or 9 or 10 episodes. I enjoyed it, but I also found it was the worst kind of stuff for people who like us, are well versed in time travel. Yeah. In that sort of time travel story. So you watch the first 1 or 2 episodes and you're like, okay, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen, and this is going to happen. You literally pegged the fucking markers. And you're just sort of waiting for those things to tick off.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 episodes happen, and it's kind of like, oh, and here's the actual action, here's the meat of the story, and here's the conclusion. And it's just like 3 episodes in the middle are kind of like, did they have to be that? Did they have to be individual episodes for that? Did they? Or could you just not make 2 longer episodes and call it a day? So it just feels a little artificially stretched. But I will say that by the end, it was still like we were both, me and Carol, going, oh, well, let's watch another one. Let's watch another one. Let's watch another one. So on that side of things, I liked it. The only thing I would say is it couldn't fucking help itself at the end. The end is a lovely wrap up. It sorts it all out and goes da 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 da, all done. You're like, brilliant, lovely, thank you very much. There's an ending, nice conclusion. Everything's nicely tied into a bow because it's done the time travel thing of this happens, cause and effect. This is going to happen, that's going to happen. Blah 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 blah. You go, brilliant. And then right in the last 2 seconds, it just goes and sort of ta-das you with the end question mark kind of thing, and you go, oh, fuck off. However, if you can just stop it, literally less than two seconds from the end, I think you'll enjoy it. Just that very last bit, both me and Carol just went, oh, come off it. Because I don't want to spoil it. I really don't. But have you seen it, Jim?
Yes, yeah.
Did you see it?
I know exactly what you're referring to. The bit I'm thinking of was contractually obliged to put that in case they want a second season.
Exactly.
And it's a story. It doesn't need a second season. No. It's finished. It's done. Leave it.
Yeah, that's what. Because I that was it, wasn't it? It was just like everything wraps up so neatly, and you just go, "Well, that's it. It's done. Thank you. It's all done." And it's just like, and then all of a sudden it just goes da 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 da. Hey, sequel bait, and you just like it's just one little second, and you just go, "Oh, fuck off." Just fuck off. And yeah. So watch it, but literally as soon as the main character and this isn't a spoiler, as soon as they just get in a cab and it's in the last episode and it's in the last 5 minutes, she gets in the cab, turn it off. That's all you got to do. Just turn it off, because you have lost nothing and you've gained everything.
Absolutely.
A satisfying end is what you've gained. Just trim that 2 minutes off at the end. But
okay, I will.
But yeah, no, and the actor who plays the detective in the 1940s, I thought he was really good. I
like his spin-off series with him.
Exactly what I said. What I said. He's the most morally ambiguous of the characters. It's a detective in the 1940s who's kind of living a bit woo and a bit way, and he's kind of he's dealing under the table and all this kind of thing, but he's also got like a strong moral streak, and his arc is really good. And I thought I could do with more of him. I could have just watched the detective show with him. And in the 1940s, it would have been brilliant. Set right in the middle of the Blitz. Yeah, it would have been great. So not so keen on the lady in the future, but there you go. She wound me up something rotten. But overall, like I say, if you've seen any time travel stories, science fiction films, TV shows, anything to do with time travel, you will go, I know where this is going. And when it actually happens at the end, and it goes the right way, you'll go, oh, okay. So they acknowledge these things will have happened, and these things will have happened, and these things will have happened, and this won't happen anymore. You go, I understand this. This is a good conclusion. Except, nah. But anyway. So yeah, that's it really. I haven't really done anything else. Like I say, I mean, I could regale you with a story of eating a curry that was so hot it nearly felt like I was eating thermite. But apart from that, it was about it really. So there you go. So I think we'll wrap it up there for our week, and we will just pass on to a little bit of feedback. Now, last week we did World War Shit, as I called it, or World War Z, and we had some feedback. Firstly, we had Chris Johnson, who said on the Facebook group, I'd like the start with the zombie headbutting the window, and then it was just a bit meh. Meanwhile, we had Sean Gleason, who had one of those, who said one of those movies that justifies the phrase "the book was better." While Jack Woodgate said, I quite enjoyed this movie when I first saw it. It's an okay zombie movie, but then I read the book. I think what sums it up is a scene where Brad drinks a can of Pepsi, and in the book it's remarked about how something as simple as root beer is impossible to get now it's a zombie-infected world, due to how the ingredients to make it come from different parts of the planet. Later, after the war, the person who made this point hands our narrator a bottle of root beer as a symbol that, despite the world being in crisis, things are getting better. In the film, this bit is reduced to Brad Pitt finding a Pepsi vending machine that's still working during the zombie apocalypse. It just felt like a bit of terrible product placement. Whereas Ros Moore, she said, during the bit where the call to the prayers draws the zombies in the crowd, I turned to my mum and whispered, "Oh, this is the bit from my book. The book. They lure the zombies into one place and pick them off systematically, and oh, for fuck's sake."
Yep.
I sat there fuming that they'd ruined the book, and my mum found the whole thing very silly, and my mounting frustration she found even funnier. Todd Smith said, when you buy the film rights to a book just so that no one else can use that title, but you don't give a shit about it or the story itself, God does it ever show. So, yeah. While Paul Kearns said, if the book is a photorealistic drawing of a stallion galloping down a beach, the wind tussling through its mane, spray on the surf being thrown up by the animal's strong and powerful legs, and its muscles rippling under its smooth black hair, then the film is a stick figure drawing of a three-legged donkey.
That's my favourite review. That is my favourite review.
Yeah. I feel like it should have had the Black Beauty music playing underneath that, but there you go.
And it's suddenly record scratching its steptoe and son.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Pete McGlasham says, it's all right. That said, I've not read the book. While Mark LaHaye said, I've just rewatched this for my Black Dog homework. Entertaining enough, but not a patch on the book. The best bit for me was Capaldi as WHO doctor. So there you go. Quite the feedback for that one. There you go. Good Lord. We actually had feedback and everything from people and things and
real
stuff.
People as well.
Real
Not just
people.
ones we'd made up on an AI chatbot.
Exactly. Chat GPT. Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, then we also had, oh, good Lord. No, that's the talk to me feedback. Oh, Jesus. I nearly said something there. We also had O'Deal, who said, clarifying about the rewinding comment, when we were saying about her rewinding the film, but rewinding to get what films we were watching. And it turned out that she was trying to get the information while zooming down on a motorway at 70 mile an hour. So, yeah, probably not good. So,
amateur.
Yeah, if you're a real fan, you would have just pulled over. You would have pulled over right in the middle of the Central Reservation and found out. But anyway, no, so there you go. So we'll be putting in any notes of any shows we talk about in the show notes. Right, that's it. If anybody else would like to send in any feedback, they can either write it down on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/The Black Dog Podcast, and we will, as you can tell, read them out. Or you can send them to me via email, which is feedback@blackdogpodcast.com. Right, now it's time to wrap up warm, get your train ticket, and see how many insects you can cram into a jelly block as we review this week's movie, Snowpiercer. Roll the jingle. And as we fade it to the contractually obliged 20 seconds to get us out of the copyright strike, let's just say Snowpiercer is a Korean post-apocalyptic science fiction action film based on the French climate fiction graphic novel Le Transparente. Oh no, I'm not even going to do it. So I'm going to try.
Someone's murdered the French language.
Yeah. If anybody wants the murderer of the French language, it's right here. In fact, I'm going to try it. No, actually, I can't even read the bloody phonetics. So no, forget it. It's done. It's the train, basically.
Le choo-choo.
Yeah.
La brr.
Yeah. Le Thomas de Snowplow. Putolos, Chris Waddle. Anyway, it was by Jacques Loeb, Benjamin Legrand, and Jean-Marc Rochette. Or Roquette. The film was directed by Bong Joon-ho and written by Bong and Kelly Masterson. It's a South Korean Czech co-production and marks Bong's English language debut. The film stars Chris Evans, Song Kang-ho, Tilda Swinton, Jamie Bell, Octavia Spencer, Go Ah-sung, John He, and Ed Harris, and takes place aboard the Snowpiercer train as it travels a globe-encircling track carrying the last remnants of humanity after a failed attempt at climate engineering to stop global warming creates a new snowball Earth. There you go. The film had a budget of $40 million and was released on the 1st of August 2013. How much do you think it made at the box office, Jim?
1 polar bear.
one Foxy's Glacier mint. It's clearly minty. Okay, Elton.
1 small child used for spare parts.
Nice. Darren.
I think it made 10 black gel bars, whatever the hell, protein bars. That's it. Yes.
Protein bars.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, they keep a spring in your step, so they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, actually, it didn't. It made.
They're not expensive. They're pretty low cost.
I
couldn't resist it.
Nice. Yeah. Oh well, caught me on the hop. Anyway.
Oh.
Sorry. There goes the everything. I've just dropped everything. All right. Okay. It actually had a box office of 86.8 million. So it doubled its money.
Ooh, okay.
There you go. Yeah, it was released in 2013. I'm saying that because for those who are not the ancient listeners of old times, we do have a thing about special effects if we have to evaluate them. And the fact that anything after 1993, which was Jurassic Park, is fair game as far as CG is concerned. I'm just putting it out there. That's all I'm saying. Just leaving it there. Anyway.
That's what I say to the police on a regular basis. Hey, I'm just putting it out there.
On the M6.
Yeah, on the M6.
in that car that Elton was trying to park.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, okay. So, anyway, let's go around the table, have a non-spoilery quick once over. Jim, as this was your pick, you go last.
Okay.
So we'll start with you, Elton. What did you think of Snowpiercer?
Well, this is the second time I've seen it.
Mm.
I have to admit, I think I enjoyed it a bit more this time because I don't think I was very impressed the first time round. That's not saying I'm greatly impressed with it. I think it has major flaws in it. In other words, one character in particular for me.
I think I can already tell you who that's going to be, but let's see how that goes. Yep.
But, and I think the last 10, 15 minutes really drag quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's acceptable.
Acceptable?
Yes, it is acceptable.
That feels like that caption that's by the chicken shack round the corner from where I live, where it says chicken that is suitable for your purpose.
Right.
You think I'm joking? I'll send
for
you a
what
photo.
Purpose is that?
I don't know. It's adequate. It either says it's suitable for your purpose or adequate for your needs or something like that. It's something very, very sort of like weirdly nondescript for a shop selling fried chicken. Anyway,
chicken
Darren,
for your tummy may not be dicky.
No, it is something like adequate for your purpose or suits your
My
purpose.
word.
Anyway, Darren, what did you think of it?
Well, this time I think I've had a bit of a 180 in my opinion of this film because I really didn't like it last time I watched it first time. Now I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking,
interesting.
What the hell happened to me? Who hurt me? Who hurt me at that point? Who hurt me? Because I don't understand what I was annoyed with last time. Because I was just not impressed with the actual film itself, and I don't know why. Because I don't know, something's clicked with me where this is concerned, and yeah, I actually really enjoyed it.
Oh right, okay.
So yeah, it's a thumbs up from me for this one.
Okay. For me, this is the second time I've seen it as well. All the problems I had with it before. I still have with it. I find it's tonally a bit uneven. I do appreciate a hell of a lot more than I did, but there are certain flaws in it which I can't work out if they're deliberately put in there because of cultural differences, or they're not put in there, or they're put in there because there's a communication error somewhere, and they can't work out if they're making a comedy, a social commentary, or a parable, and it's kind of a bit flip-flops between them, and it kind of makes the whole thing feel a bit uneven.
Yeah.
Overall, though, yeah, I still like it. I remember liking it the first time, but there was irritations, and this time the irritations became bigger irritations, but it didn't stop me from liking the film overall. Jim, what about you?
Well, this was second watch for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a film I was interested to go back to because I was kind of I liked bits of it the first time I saw it.
Yeah,
but it didn't really sort of click with me, and I was kind of I'm in the wrong mood for this. I'll have to come back to this. It was kind of, obviously a lot went into it. It looks great. A lot of ideas. This time around, I think, especially having seen, say, his later movie like Parasite.
Yes.
And gone back and watched The Host again, I can see it made a lot more sense. There's a lot more kind of his, not his pet themes, but it thematically actually does tie into two very different films he's made.
Yeah.
Because they are about class and there's a lot of social satire. And I think this time I had more kind of, I mean, the first one I didn't know was based on a French graphic novel. This time around, a lot makes sense about being a French graphic novel.
Yeah.
As well. And I think I got more out of it this time. And it was kind of, it was a fun rewatch and an interesting rewatch. So I was glad I picked it.
Yeah. I'm glad. I will say this before anything else that I say. I did enjoy it, and I did get a lot more out of it. I'm saying that up front because a lot of the things I might say might come across as overly negative when they're actually not. It's just there was a few bits that kind of made me kind of go, you've got edges on. Cool. So we will get into the proper chat with the spoilers in a second. But before I do that, I did find the caption that I was talking about with the Bromley chicken. Bromley chicken. Our chicken fulfills your purpose. There you go. That's the caption. I've sent you all a picture. Wow. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. Have a look at that. Enjoy that before we get into the thing. Our chicken fulfills your purpose.
That's amazing,
isn't it?
Wow!
That is when
Google Translate at its finest, isn't it?
Yeah, that is Google Translate when it really shouldn't be, is it? You shouldn't use Google Translate for everything.
Well, I just want to eat there right now.
Well, exactly. Who wouldn't want to have chicken that fulfills your purpose?
Where is that, Lee?
That is at the top of Bromley Hill. Near.
Is that where the old bloody the what's his name? The lawnmower shop used to be.
No.
That's not the lawnmower shop, is it?
No, it's not the lawnmower shop. No. Do you know where Ravensbourne School is?
Oh, probably.
You know where Bromley Common is?
Yes, it's there.
Yeah, it's up towards there, up towards the top of Bromley Common.
In this picture, they got some broken gutter in. I'll tell you
they do have broken. That's not been repaired.
No, that is fucked.
That's fucked. Yeah.
You didn't do the artwork for their sign, did you?
Who, me?
Lou? Yeah,
absolutely, I did. Fucking hell, money's money, my friend.
Have you noticed in the picture you got the broken gutter in, and below it you got a slippery when wet sign as well? So I don't know if they're conjoined or what, but you know.
Yeah. Don't worry. You also notice there's no health stars on the window
there
either.
Not.
No, there are not. Anyway, no.
If it's below 4, do not display them.
No. Only the C is working in the neon as well. It's worth mentioning.
But anyway, at least 12 different types of burger as well.
Yeah, I know. You can have it. You can have it with chicken on its own, chicken. Without chicken. Half of it with chicken.
You're gonna have spam, egg and spam, spam, egg and spam, spam, chips and spam.
I'm gonna have to put this picture in the Facebook group now, aren't I?
Yeah, it needs to be shared with the world.
Yes, I will share it with the world. Bromley chicken, our chicken fulfills your purpose. But anyway, back to Snowpiercer. Our podcast fulfills your purpose.
Our next meetup will be at
the Bromley Chicken on Bromley Hill.
Catering by Bromley Chicken. Their chicken fulfills your purpose.
It doesn't tell you what your purpose is.
Exactly,
What is your purpose towards this chicken? It's probably best not to ask, actually. But I'm going to be on the M1. I'm going to lay-by. Anyway.
Why did the chicken cross the road? Because he was stapled to the punk.
Right. Yeah, nice. It was trying to get away from probably chicken, I reckon. Anyway.
So if Kentucky Fried Chicken is a friendly old man in a white suit, what do you think the Bromley Chicken's mascot is? I mean, I can see Foghorn. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I was going to say it's someone just standing there going, "You looking at me funny? What's so funny about me? You got a laugh? You having a laugh?
Fuck off, you can't."
Yeah, exactly.
Bromley Chicken, fuck off, you can't.
Yeah, we fulfill your purpose of shivving you in the neck. Right. So now we're going to move past the Bromley Chicken advert. Maybe we should get some sponsorship.
Oh my god!
Can we review pictures? Can we do that now? Can we just have that? We just mix it up a bit. Just review an image from.
Send your local
Google
restaurant to Black Dog Podcast at Gmail. I don't even know what
feedback at Black Dog
Pod. There it is.
I bought the domain, cheeky bastard.
Sorry.
Anyway, because I mistakenly thought anyone would be listening. Right.
Bromley Chicken.
Chicken.
Not Dartford Chicken, but Bromley Chicken.
Dartford Chicken doesn't fulfill your purpose. Anyway, no. Right. So, Snowpiercer. We're going to do the spoilers. Yeah, you remember that. Yeah. You remember that film. Yeah. We're going to be doing the spoiler zone now. So, ladies and gentlemen, just bear in mind, if you haven't seen this film, go over to Amazon Prime and watch this film before listening to our spoiler zone, because our spoiler zone is going to be spoilery. As in spoiler zone. As in, we're spoiling you. As in, we're spoiling this film. I think I've said spoil enough. So, there you go. That's the warning.
Baby! Put your helmet on. We'll be reaching speeds of 3.
And that's enough. There you go. I think that's told everyone. I press every button along the... press every button on my soundboard. Hold on. Everything else. There you go. There's that... It's all going wrong.
Put your helmet on. We'll be reaching speeds of 3.
There you go. I think
Black Dog, the ambient remix.
Christ, he's having a stroke.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not on the M6 yet. Right. So, 15 minutes in and we'll get to the review. Right, okay, so Snowpiercer. Let's start with right. Oh God, Lord, where do I start? It's all gone out the window. Okay. First off, quickly round the table, what do you think its main theme is? What do you think it is?
About why you shouldn't privatise British railways. Because this is the shit that happens. Have you seen the catering? Jesus Christ almighty.
Have you been on a train to Bristol? I'll tell you what, that jelly lump looked fucking appealing. Yeah, I'll tell you that.
Didn't it? It looks more appealing than some of the stuff you got on the trains. It's just awful.
But seriously, what? But seriously, Rove, I mean, for a second, let's try and hold this podcast together under a theme. No. I mean, what were the main themes to you, Dal? What did you see as the main theme? What was it about? Because you're turning around on this.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously say the cliched one of class, right? Because everybody sees that. That's there. I also. I also think there's a whole thing about how far does society go on the wonk before you decide to pull the plug on it. You see, because at the end of it, you're kind of like, you see society in all its, basically how it is today, consigned to one train, right? And it's like, have we kind of reached the end now? Is this it? Has the warranty expired on the human race? Do we just need to open the big cold door over there and let the air rush in?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Does it continue on this path
Yeah.
Well, or do we derail the whole thing?
That's oh man, there are so many levels. It's like an onion.
Peel
back those layers. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. What about you, Elton? What's your main takeaway about this?
I think the same as Darren. Really, I think that's what it's speaking to me about the class, and how far do you take it?
Right.
Once you reach the top, and then you look back down past all that stuff that you've been past, and you're like, is it worth it? Is this really worth it? Do we carry on like this? Because this is absolute hell, and I think we'd be better off, and other places would be better off without us.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Jim? What's your overall takeaway just from it?
Well, I think it is, aside from the class thing, which is very clearly there, but it is that thing of kind of how some people think they can run to society. And it is kind of how far are all these sort of things actually just crackpot schemes, you know what I mean? Of once people just become things, become units, as Fred had, not Fred Harris.
Fred Harris.
That's ragtime. Play school. That's something entirely different, isn't it? As Ed Harris puts it, it is kind of...
You're doing well with names today.
I know. Early Alzheimer's kicking in already. But there is that thing of kind of he's trying to run the world like a railway set.
Yeah.
And he's turned it into a management sim, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go along with that. I mean, my takeaway beyond the obvious class thing is it's almost the same as it reminded me this time round of the first time I read Animal Farm, Orwell's Animal Farm.
Yeah.
That you've got, not only you've got just standard class sort of tropes of kind of like, we need the people at the bottom to keep the people at the top happy. We beyond that, there's a whole thing of a system of control, and that's kind of the whole thing of, we have to maintain control and maintain order at the sacrifice of the many for the few. That's not just class; that's just social engineering. Full stop. So to me, it was more like it had that kind of religious vibe as well, of kind of like building up a mythos, in many ways, and this is going to sound weird, but in many ways it had a thing of the Matrix sequels, of kind of like, we have to create and manufacture a mythos, we have to give people the illusion of hope, which is actually control. We got to let one person make it all the way up to the end of the train so that they can take over, they understand what's at stake, and the whole thing just carries on rolling. There's an eternal circle, much like the track.
Yeah, there's one other thing as well in there. It's there's a little bit about religion and what makes a religion, and it's anything that's powerful that people start to lose understanding of how it works. They just where it becomes more like magic than anything else. As her going on about the sacred engine, the sacred water supply, the sacred this, the sacred that, and it's, speaking about it in those sort of terms.
Yeah, exactly. It's that whole thing of it. It's different systems of control, isn't it? That's the whole point of the thing, as far as I can tell. I mean, does anyone else agree with that? Because to me, it's like it's beyond just class. It's we need to control how many people are in the back, how many people are at the front. We need to understand that everyone's going to boil over at some point, so we just got to stir the pot a bit.
Yeah.
Well,
keep everything in place.
They it is like its own ecosystem, and they say that about the aquarium that they have. There is a balance that you have to keep, and really, she's talking about the whole train there.
Yes,
and you're trying to keep control of certain things, and you notice as you work your way up through the train as well, the further up towards the front you get, the more blinkered everyone is to what's actually going on. Yeah, I think that's saying about class. The higher up you are, the more you have, the more blinkered you are to the people below you and around you.
But also, the less people there are.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes, yeah.
There's more room, isn't there?
Mm. You got that sort of like that arboretum with like the 5 nannies just sort of knitting, and then there's a sort of school just before that with about 30 kids, and then as you get further towards the front, the number of people goes down and down and down and down and down, and it's just like, it's like a pyramid.
Yeah.
But anyway, so okay, so we're kind of roughly on the same page. It's class, it's religion, it's control, it's that sort of thing. How did you feel about? How am I going to put this? How did you feel about the whole idea of the train itself? The reason I'm saying this is because of all the things you have to accept in this film, and there's lots of them, you have to kind of just sort of hang on and go, yep, that's fine. Was the train just a train, or was it a metaphor? Because that you have to kind of sit there and go, okay, this is ridiculous. This train would have come off the rails a million years ago, but it bounces through snow plows and everything, and then just kind of carries on going, and it's eternally fueled.
Going on everything that happens over in this country, you get the wrong leaves on the track, and everything comes to a standstill, doesn't it? This thing keeps on chugging. I think it's just a great way of. You don't know how long this train is. It's like the Polar Express; it keeps changing its length.
It's nowhere long as
Peter
the
North,
one.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's nowhere
I'll
near
tell you
as long
something
as the
though.
one
I
in
do know
the
one thing
original
about
source
it.
material.
Sorry, Jim, what was that?
I do know one thing definite about it. The train isn't as big as the Red October.
Well, you say that. I mean, it's the orbital transport system for the Red October. I'll give you that.
The one in the graphic novel is bigger than the Red October.
Is it?
This one because I read the difference between the two.
Oh yeah.
And in the graphic novel and the TV show, the train it starts off as 1001 carriages long, right? And it pays a visit to the same points on the planet once every 2.46 times a year. That's what it does, right? So there's none of this. It turns up once a year. No, in the source material, that thing they pass the same point at 2.46 times a year. That's what they do. So, and I think in the early history they had to let 3 carriages go to. It was something because the train was slowing down, so they keep losing carriages as they go every so often, and some people were kind of left on board.
Yeah,
some people aren't.
Right.
So
okay. Well, that's in some ways that would have made more sense with the shooting across between carriages.
Yeah,
when we were in that sort of kind of bendy loop.
It did just have that plot thing of we are just at the right time to do this sort of thing. Like the new year, and look, let's celebrate the 7 people that are wandering across the hill, and now we have to go around a big loop and fire across. It's a great scene, but in the narrative thing is what the chances that you actually are going around that loop at that time?
Yeah,
as the man is starting to stalk you. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I mean, let's not get. I was going to get into the grey geezer who's eternally following, but I mean, what was the thing I always come back to with this film? And this is not a criticism. This is just a question, and throw it out to all of you. What were they actually thinking they were going to do if they managed to grab control of the train? It's because this is the second time I watched it, and in all times they say we get to the engine, we control the train, and it's like, yes, by just still stuck in a train. Is that supposed to be a metaphor for the fact that we're fighting over something that, doesn't matter, like the old Carl Sagan, pale blue dot, everyone who's ever fought, every person who's ever lived or died lives on this tiny dot, and it's like insignificant. And you're supposed to look at this train and go, wow, they take control of this train, but they're still in the fucking train going around the world.
Yeah. And to keep order of the train, you need to give the balance of things, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So my question, I guess, is firstly, what was their end game, so to speak, and secondly, do you think the order of the train, maintaining the order of the train, although it wasn't done right, morally, is actually something that needed to happen?
Well, I think, I don't know if we've all been in this sort of position or what, but there have been times when I've been either wanting something or searching for something, or I don't know, there's something that I'm looking forward to the goal of getting. And once you get there, you're like, okay. Either what do I do with this, or why was I panicking about that, and it's always striving for something you really want, but once you get there, that moment passes, and then you want something else. And I think they worked their way back from the back all the way up to the front with the goal of, okay, let's get hold of this train, right? And then they got hold of the train, and then it was like, we don't know what to do with this.
To quote the Joker, I'm like a dog chasing a car. I wouldn't know what to do if I got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think Mitchell and Webb did a great bunch of comedy sketches about this kind of thing. They started off with this villain who's finally got control of the world. And then they start bringing in things like, the buses are not running on time, didn't you? And he's like, what? And every other sketch is him having to deal with something minute like that. Like, so what are we doing about the water then? The pipes have burst in the main high street. Who's going to fix them? It's like, this is not something I took into consideration when I wanted to take over the world. And it's just, yes, let's get there. And then they get there and say, oh, fuck, we've got to manage stuff. Yeah.
I think it is a case of kind of, they're starting out, they want to make the train fairer. But at the same time, it's kind of, they don't actually know how the whole thing works until they get to the...
And then it's
until they go further down the train and begin to see what is actually there, because they've never left the tail.
No.
But now half the occupants as well.
Yeah. But it's also, what are the practical realities of sort of managing a closed ecosystem on a giant supersonic train.
Yeah.
And it's a problem real-life revolutionaries have. It's all very well to say, like, smash the state, but then what do you rebuild? How do you rebuild?
Yeah.
And how quickly revolutions tend to turn into often something worse than what they were replacing.
Yeah.
What's that thing in Doctor Who? What are you going to do? What are you going to do with people like yourself, the troublemakers? Yeah? We'll beat them. Will you? Because revolutions don't last for long, don't you?
Yeah, I mean that's because it was just that was going to be my thing. It's like the weird point, the weird kind of. I'm going to use a fancy word. The dichotomy of the whole thing is that the people who are oppressed take over the train, and then then once they realise what's going on, which is what happens with Chris Evans at the end. Once they realise what's going on and what's involved, they get a choice of either destroying it all and basically wiping themselves out, or having to assume the mantle of the thing that they actually sought to destroy to keep everything actually working.
Yep, that's right. And as we know, children, power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolute Power is a film with Kevin Costner. No. So,
that corrupted me. I shouldn't have watched that.
No, nobody should have watched that film. What's your big takeaway, Jim? I mean, this was obviously your film. You picked it. I mean, you've seen it this time round and got more out of it.
Well, this time it was kind of I saw the whole the whole train as some kind of like vast metaphor. But you know what I mean? It is kind of a fable and a parable, and it's this idea of kind of, well, yes, Ed Harris is quite happy. In fact, he wants to pass the torch on to Curtis because to get that far, he's proved he's ruthless enough
to do the job. Yeah.
To do the job, and he'll start off trying to do it with the best of intentions, but it just becomes this sort of game of numbers. You know what I mean? People are units, and you got to vent the steam now and again, and it has to run a certain way. How far you could change that, is question we'll never know. But it seems like kind of that's the endless cycle of the revolutionary throws down the government only to become the government.
Yeah. And
it's that old, doesn't matter who you vote for, the government always gets in. Endless sort of cycle. However, this film with the end, there's a way to break the cycle.
Yeah.
I'm saying we don't actually have to stay on this goddamn train.
Yeah.
Admittedly, for a long time, there doesn't seem to have been much of an option. But there is that thing of the ice is melting. There is signs of life out there. And there's enough tech on that train to stop it and set up a habitation and grow stuff, and you know what I mean? This whole frozen, these cities in deep freeze full of stuff to raid.
Yeah.
Once you stop thinking kind of, well, how do we run the train, and start thinking of kind of, well, actually, how do we get off the train?
Yeah,
but a whole different ball game.
But isn't part of that problem that, and this comes back to the thinly veiled knock at the VFX that I was going to come to. There's not really a clear indicator in the film, as far as I can see, and it was only the third time of skipping through it because I'm thinking, what is giving them the clue that the world is healing and that they can survive outside, which is clearly what the security advisor, the guy, he's kind of clicked onto it. And it was only when I watched it, I just watched a few key scenes on YouTube to sort of see what was going on. And it's actually when they look down, and he says look down, and you see down the hill, see down the bridge, they see melted ice and they see water and they see a plane.
Yes, yeah. And he says the plane previously, you can only see the tail.
And it's but the thing is, that shot is so poorly composed.
Yeah. I had to pause it and look. And
shot through so quickly that you get no idea of what is going on there. Or at least I didn't. And I can say I had to kind of go through a second time. It wasn't because of the Spanish dub or nothing. And and I I was watching.
You weren't watching in the original Polish.
No, and I sort of watched it, and I thought,
I won't tell you what I saw on screen, but the way it reacted when I played the film.
Oh, I could tell you how it did it because I saw that as well, and I thought, how the fuck do you turn that off?
Well, the two sets of subtitles,
the
superimposed over one another.
Yeah, the hard-coded subtitles. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So there was a couple of scenes like that where it just shot past, and so I never really got the fact that they thought they could survive outside of the train.
I did pick up the plane thing on this viewing. I don't think I did the first time. I can't remember now. It was a long time ago. I've killed a lot of brain cells since then. But this time I did get it. I did say it. Like, oh, yes, yeah. And I got what you were saying at the time. I was thinking, all right.
Yeah. So...
See, I didn't. I got it when they explained it to you at the very end of the film. But that shot, looking down, you are kind of squinting, going, "What is going on?" Okay,
yeah,
there's nothing down there, and then they go, "Oh, there was an aeroplane down there." You're like, "Was there?"
Yeah.
Okay, great story. Blog it. Thanks.
Yeah, especially considering that the person telling you this information has been, sort of highlighted as a full on hardcore coke sniffer, basically.
And he can tell that as well by the snowflake that floated in as well, that is all melting. Huh?
Apparently so. Yeah, it's melty snow when it looks like that.
Okay.
And this goes back to what I was going to say earlier, which was how much of this film do you have to take on face value, and how much of it do you have to say it's a metaphor, the whole thing's a metaphor? Because if you start questioning it as like this film has to make logical sense, it starts to go a bit on the wonk.
Well, so it's when you get deeper into the train and you have all the different sort of sections, I think it becomes, for me, it felt very much kind of, we're definitely in sort of fable country, because this isn't laid out like a functioning city on a train.
No.
I mean, it wasn't as well as equipped as Money Plane.
No.
Money Plane.
Money Plane.
We didn't get the character as a guy fucking an alligator.
Yeah.
Perhaps thankfully.
Yeah.
But it was, they did that. They kept with the thing of that this is actually a standard railway carriage sort of size throughout. You know what I mean? Not like the huge flight deck of
Yeah.
Welcome to the flight deck of the Red October. You can fit 3 Albert Halls in here.
Yeah.
It'll take you 10 minutes to cross over to the sonoscope over there. None of that shit. But you know what I mean? Obviously, it is completely wildly impractical. Like, where do those people live? You don't go through. You either say, well, we went through some carriages that were boring, they didn't show us, they just had toilets and shower blocks and supermarkets.
Yeah.
Or you think, no, that's not the point.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to get to the bottom of. It was like, because I was sitting there thinking, how do you live on a train like this for 18 plus years? Because it didn't seem to have that kind of. I mean, I can barely spend 2 hours going to fucking Bristol in a fucking train, let alone 18 years.
Yeah. What's that song? Have you ever tried to take a shit on a train?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about me trying to go for a wee on that train to bloody Switzerland through the Alps and nearly firing it up my own nose because the thing was going at 80 miles an hour around a bend. I mean, doing several thousand miles an hour over icy train treks through snowdrifts at 100 mile an hour is like no, everyone would be smush. Yeah. So the other question I was going to say was, if the whole universe, so to speak, or the world of the train is in perfect balance, in terms of we have to have so many units, we have to have so many people who can support the system and all this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Is it all going on the wonk literally as soon as they start fighting? Because you're literally destabilizing everything at that point.
Well, yeah, you're killing your workforce.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was just I was just trying to work out how disastrous this revolution was, because I mean, obviously there's the whole subplot surprise that John Hurt was like the plant at the back, sending them forward, creating the mythos and sending them forward. I mean, but only as far as the water tank. Get as far as the water tank, then get told the water tank doesn't matter. And what, they're supposed to just turn around and go back? And I was just wondering, this sort of like pretend revolution, whether or not that was just to keep the population sated that they've tried their best and it didn't work, or
I think it might be that like the water tank would be like a glass ceiling for them.
It's a metaphor.
Ed Harris does mention, though, sometimes you've got to thin the population by more radical means.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yes, he does.
And I saw this was kind of, this was all part of that.
Also saves on the special effects of losing a carriage as well.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, when did that not get floated as an idea? Just sort of like firing the carriage off, just saying bollocks to it.
Well, they can't get rid of the back end because that's where all the children come from. That's kind of their nesting area. Also, that's the workforce as well, isn't it? Which is keeping things ticking over.
Yeah. What they did in the book was they moved everybody forwards, or tried to move everybody forward 3 carriages, and then ejected the 3 at the back.
Oh right, it's just like a sort of like that's the amount of people we don't need.
It's more to do with the fact that the carriages were slowing the train down, and they needed to keep up a certain speed because some maniac had put a bomb on the bus. No, sorry, wrong film. Wrong film. Dennis Hopper. No, he wasn't in this one, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No, that's
right. Okay, let's just go through the more basic stuff now. The characters. I mean, can we just address the elephant in the room? Let's just see.
They had an elephant on there as well. I saw a fish. And they had a zoo.
Well, they did. I mean, it's like right down by the jumbo jet hangar, right next to the right next to the Red October's multimedia stadium holding a Taylor Swift concert
and the dirt bike track.
Yeah, it has the sphere in it.
The Las Vegas sphere. Now, how did we feel about the Tilda Swinton character? Was that just parody too far, or was that the South Korean humor thing not understanding how it would translate into Western sensibilities?
Well, I wondered whether that was something from the original source material, because it kind of there's a lot of elements that do remind me of I can't remember what the director's name was, but they did a whole string of films. Delicatessen and City of Lost Children.
You mean Jean-Pierre Jeunet?
Yeah. And it has kind of it's played straighter, but it feels like that kind of Euro sci-fi that is a bit quirky.
It's a bit Gilliam-esque.
And and this kind of, she did feel like kind of a strip consultant, Victoria Wood.
Yes,
had added her in.
Yes,
but I quite enjoyed her this time around. The first time she kind of grated, but this time I think I got it. That she's your first clue that you're not just in a science fiction adventure film here; you're in somewhere else.
Yeah,
and I think the way she is kind of, I mean, there is the religion parallels, but for me, really. It strikes the kind of people who worship various tech bros. She's like the next logical step on from that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. The people who, who think certain people who actually weren't really that talented or aren't really that clever, but they think they've been sold this myth that they're these big inventors. And some people completely hook, line, and sinker that they are the Messiah almost.
Yeah,
and they walk on water, and it's kind of, it's fan worship. It's not religion; it's probably idolatry.
Yeah, well, it's you
know what I mean, in the old sense of the word.
Yeah, because it was certainly a choice, that character.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I'll go to you because you're the one with the biggest turnaround in this movie. What do you think about it? Because
I thought she was a sort of how can I say, an appropriate character to have in it. She was that real sort of cowardly individual that's given a bit of power and thinks they've got a lot, and then when it's taken away from them, suddenly it's like, oh, it wasn't my fault. I was just, the Nuremberg defense? I was just following orders.
Yeah,
the banality of evil.
Yes, yeah. What about you, Elton?
Well, I think she can be seen as the best part of this film and also the worst part of this film, and I'm struggling to work out what it is, because it is such a cartoonish character compared to everyone else. You have Chris Evans, who is definitely not a cartoon character, who's like the everyday man, and everyone else seems like the everyday person of their type, and yet you have this full blown cartoon character right in the middle. doing their best Roald Dahl impression type thing. You know, it's a very Roald Dahl-esque character. And it can feel out of place. And like you say, Darren, once all that power is stripped away, it's like, oh no, leave me alone. Even to the point where she takes out her false teeth as well to show you how vulnerable I am. Look how vulnerable, meek I am. Look, you wouldn't punch me in the face, would you? No, give over. What? Because you took your teeth out? No, I don't think so.
I thought it was meaning something else when she did that, but I'm not going to even go into that.
Could I suck you off?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Look, that was the suggestion. I thought, look, I've got no teeth in the front.
Phrasing.
Honestly, that's what I thought. Get what? That's what I thought for a second.
Wow.
It's like, why did you take because why would you take the teeth out? Why? Because you go, hey, Bob, look at these babies come out. Look.
No, good Lord.
I didn't think of that until I actually said that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it's amazing where some people will go just to keep their position of power. It really is.
Jesus Christ.
Well, she's really manipulative as well, isn't she? She does the classic, oh, do we really need to keep these handcuffs on? You know, it looks so embarrassing when I'm in front of the children. It's like, yeah, okay, look, as soon as I take them off, you're just going to do something and do some sort of fucking weird symbol and everyone will be pounding on me again. So, no, I'm all right.
When she takes her teeth out. No! Anyway. I mean...
Watch out, the teeth have come out.
Anyway, of course, we can take any discussion and just completely debase it.
And we're back to the lay-by on the M46. No.
And the M6. Yeah, I mean, the thing I found I kind of liked and loathed about that character, which maybe is part of the point of it, is it did feel like a Gilliam, as you say, a Gilliam character, especially Ian Holm out of Brazil. Lowry, has somebody seen Sam Lowry? You know, sort of thing. But that was done and this goes back to what I was saying right at the start. It throws these wild swings in tone, and she was so cartoonish, and so like she was halfway through doing a monologue in The Rover's Return. Americans, look it up. That, you know, all of a sudden the set has got moved while she's sort of closing her eyes and monologuing, and someone's brought in a train set behind her, and she's sort of like, and then she's opened her eyes and she carried on, noticing that she's in a completely wrong movie. It was bizarre. And on the one hand, I'm sitting there thinking, this was one of the things I hated about it, because it did feel like a sort of like I'm not understanding this because I am not of the culture that made this kind of comedy. Yeah. And then on the other hand, I'm sitting there thinking, no, this is supposed to be the banality of evil. This is supposed to be a kind of, you know, Maggie Thatcher, pen pusher, accountant type grotesquerie. But the problem was I couldn't settle on what side I fell down on, because I sort of, on the one hand, I'm going, yes, she's supposed to look like a sort of Smeagol, Gollum, kind of Weedly, Toady kind of figure. And then on the other hand, you're supposed to be sitting there going, no, she's really funny because she's got silly hair and big glasses and funny teeth. And it's just like, so what is it then? Is this an action, you know, dark comedy thriller, or is this a parable, or what? I mean,
I think that is the problem for me. It is so comedic compared to everything else around it. Normally in an action movie or like a dark comedy or anything like that, you'll have someone there for the lighter moments who can inject something in there. But this is just wheeling the whole bandstand into the frame and going, right, this is going to be funnier than everything else, even though it's dark. And then they wheel it off, and then the movie continues, and then she comes back in, and they wheel this bandstand back in, and here she is again to do something more comedic.
Yeah.
Even though it's dark, and then they wheel it off. And it is a bit jarring at times.
Yeah. Did you, because that fucking Yorkshire accent was, she was practically selling tea. It was, buy ack, buy fucking gum, look at that, check me, whip it out, bar, check, where's me at? Oh, well, I'm going up, don't pump, where's me, where's me,
every word in
yeah, where's me Lancashire pot? It was just like, wow, just wow. It was so clownish that it didn't feel. It felt like it had come from a completely different movie. It felt like the Ruby Rod character in that film that has an attachment unavailable to it.
I think they were going for the 12 Monkeys look with this, including some of how ridiculous some of the characters are. Over the top, like Brad Pitt's character in that film.
Yeah,
this is the Brad Pitt character.
It's one of the more egregious, obvious moments in the film where it's clearly just done. It feels like it's done for laughs, and it undercuts all the seriousness of what's going on.
Yeah,
fucking dodgy nose and wobbly wigs and all that kind of stuff.
Well, then you also have the play for laughs of, right, well, I've only got 7 minutes to do this, and so we don't need you to repeat everything in many different languages. So I'm just going to carry on.
Yeah.
And then she gets to the end of her speech and she's like, well, I've got another 40 seconds left, so we're just going to fill with some music.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's such a great idea. I think it works so well, but it feels a bit clunky.
Yeah. Jim?
The thing is, I've sat through corporate presentations where people have done that with people who are actually as that ridiculous, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are promoted several levels beyond their level of competence. You know what I mean? It's kind of, I think after the initial kind of, oh God, isn't she very Victoria Wood? I just kind of rolled with it. And I think underneath the broadness, there's a lot of things actually are very true of these kind of management twattery, for want of a better word. And to be governmental twattery, there are quite a few examples you can point to in our current government who are exactly this kind of grotesque twat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who kind of, if you put them on a screen in this movie, people go, oh, they're too broad, they're too ridiculous, they're too stupid, no one's that incompetent and that evil and that petty. Oh, well, no, that's reality, actually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But I think it just speaks to me to be a character that speaks to the kind of weird tonal weirdness, which again I don't know if it's a cultural thing, because there was that whole bit when they pass over the date line, the revolution line or whatever it is. And then everyone stops having a fight with axes sticking out of them and whatever, with the monks with the with the fucking balaclavas, and they were like all sitting there going Happy New Year, sort of thing, like this, and sort of doing a song and dance, sort of like, we're not to the round table, we dance whenever we're able, we do routines and dancing scenes, and they're all just, and they're lying there with fucking axes sticking out of them and fucking blood squirting from their necks and everything. And you think, am I missing something here? Was I not invited to the party where the humour was kind of laid out? It's because it just seems really odd. It just seems really odd.
You remember that thing during World War One where they stopped fighting for Christmas for like about half an hour, I think it was, and played a game of football?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if this is supposed to be the equivalent of that.
I think it is. There's also something in maritime tradition where you cross some of the international date lines or the tropics of Capricorn and Cancer. That's always a big knees up, and I believe ship battles in the past have been stopped.
Yeah.
Well, you do that little bit of a daft sort of ritual because Because people are fucking cracked like that, frankly.
Yeah.
But it's one of me. I think this time round, as soon as Tilda Swinton came on, my brain clicked into a kind of more, say, Janeway and Caro sort of Gilliam approach to this movie. So all that kind of stuff should have just felt like dominoes in place with that sort of rhythm for me. Whereas the first time it was kind of like, oh, this is a bit wacky. But this time it all just seemed to click and flowed.
Yeah.
You've seen that woman, Ted. She's a bit mad.
Yeah. Okay. I just. Yeah. I think it's just because whenever I watch like a film from the sort of Far East, I always get that slight disconnect of feeling that maybe I'm just missing something. And when it starts to go tonally on the wonk, I'm just like, am I missing something? Or is this just the way it's supposed to be? Or is it shit? No, I'll never say it's shit. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't say this film was shit. It's just moments like that. It just kind of make me go, hang on. Terry Gilliam's turned up on set. You know, any second now, one of them's going to have a dream about flying over the city in fucking silver wings.
Yeah.
So let's get to the whole thing at the end. I mean, because I think we're running out of time, to be honest. How the engine, the whole thing of the engine. Now, actually, before we get to the engine, randomly, I just want to know what everyone thought about the sudden and rather casual handout of, so you're clairvoyant then, to the daughter, and the clairvoyance thing.
She's not a very good clairvoyant because her predictions come sort of like half a second before the bloody thing happens.
But no, I mean,
don't open that door.
Yeah, well, it's just more the
Something
fact
bad happened here.
Oh yeah, the Forrest Whitaker School of Telepathic Telekinesis.
What level are you? I'm Whitaker level. You are to be revered.
Yes, I am
ridiculed.
I am on the level of STBO. What's that? Stating the bloody obvious. Right. Okay. Yeah, I just wondered because I mean, again, in a film which is trying to sort of lay it on thick with the social themes, the control themes, and the ecological themes, just to suddenly throw in some magic realism that, oh, you're a clairvoyant, and everyone goes, yep, and the girl goes, yep, and everyone goes, right, fine, cool. And she's like, someone's behind that door, someone's not behind that door, this person's running behind that door, and everyone's like, yeah, okay, fine. Nobody questions it. It just comes up and it's just kind of thrown away. It's like, right, okay, really?
I think it was an easy way to make things move forward. Without that, then you'd have to kind of work out how to get through the next phase.
You know what I say? If you're a shit clairvoyant, then really be a shit clairvoyant and have your predictions like one carriage too late or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, something good behind these doors. Oh, fuck no, that was the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you should have her just sort of standing in the foreground going, now something's going to happen behind me. I'm not sure what it is. Meanwhile, you got the entire fight happening in slow motion while she's sitting there going, now what is it? And then suddenly as she turns around and everyone's dead going, guys, watch out. There's a bunch of geezers with axes. Oh, fuck. Yeah, a deaf clairvoyant. Completely unaware of where they are or what time it is.
I don't know why, but when I saw all those blokes standing there with the balaclavas on, I just thought of Bricktop from fucking that film, you know. I'm going to have blokes in Yeti suits climbing up fucking Mount Everest to find you.
Yeah. Nutters from Parkhurst in a Yeti suit. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't care if you're. No, I'm not going to do all that. So okay. So let's get to the more basic stuff. The action. What do we think of the fights and all the stuff there?
Very painful. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just wondered how everyone felt about the choreography, because the one thing it had was the thing that I absolutely do not like in fights, which is even if the camera's 20 feet away from the action, it's shaking. He's shaking. He's like, no, you don't need to make it look more exciting. You've got a guy who's been in the Avengers for like 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years, who can do stunt work. You've got a whole room full of stuntmen doing stunt work. They're all going super duper mental. But I know, let's make it more dynamic. Shake the camera. It's like, what? I can't see what the fuck is going on. It's all motion blurred. How yeah, go on.
Never being in that position of being on the battlefield or in a tight enclosed space where a battle is happening. Sometimes I find it a bit unbelievable that people actually make it through the first 3 layers. I just don't see how that can happen without everyone turning into, callback from last week, hairy jam.
Hairy jam. Where would we be without hairy
I just
jam?
find it so hard. You know, obviously our hero has to win and get through to the next carriage, but all of a sudden he's like 9 rows deep, and no one has gone, hang on, that's that bloke, isn't it? Should we just turn around and stab him?
Yes.
No, carry on with these other people in front of us. And, you know, I don't know how that logic works.
Yeah.
When you mentioned hairy jam, all I heard in my head was, "Hey, my name's Quincy Jones, and this is my hairy jam." I don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, what about you guys, Jim, Darren? What do you think of the old crunchy action?
It was well choreographed, but I agree. Yeah. So you don't need all the camera shaking, and that's one of those things like fast cuts and filters that sort of marred like 90s, sort of early noughties sort of action scenes.
Yeah.
Unnecessary camera jiggle is our current curse. Which
yes. Or putting the camera like 1 inch away from the fist. So it's just everything's a blur in front of the camera.
Fist cam.
Yeah. What about you, Dal?
Well, yeah. I mean, most of it was all right. You know, it was people getting hacked and God knows what else. But they did another cliche move, which was the lots of intense fighting. Let's slow it down. Let's go to slow-mo and play a very sort of subtle piece of music over the top. So that's what we did. We were going to option the entire film for that, but somebody said it wasn't on, so
so we did slow-mo.
Didn't. Yeah, we just did this one bit.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I mean, because like I say, apart from the weird thing, yeah. But the one moment where I kind of was like, oh, stop it, just stop it, was the train's going round in a big long arc, and we can see across 100 carriages to shoot at some crazy ass dude in a totally different carriage.
How did he see that? I mean, his eyes couldn't seriously have seen them from across there and recognised them as the people, he needed to off.
Well, they were walking through the hot springs carriage, weren't they, with the big windows? So that's the only way I could interpret that.
Yeah,
that was convenient,
wasn't
exactly.
it? Handy? Yeah. It was a bit weird, that bit. Yeah, it kind of.
It came almost from nowhere as well, because you have them. The way I retell the story in my head is they're all in the back compartments. They break through. They start working their way through. They have to pass him at some point, and then he's behind them, and then he's just. It feels like he's just always been there, just chasing them. And I didn't really know what he was trying to do. Was he trying to stop it, or was he just? I don't know. Is he trying to prevent it from going so forward? Because the myth is to get up to the water.
Yeah.
Water place and then drop back. So why is he trying to do all this before they get there?
I don't know. I don't know.
Shut up, that's why.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah. Yeah,
it's just to have that that force behind you, isn't it? A lot of action movies
propelling
have
you
this
forward. Yeah,
this person is pushing you onwards, so you need to go through the next door, and you have that. Oh, maybe he's turn up later. And really, I felt he was a character that really didn't need to be there, because their whole aim of the film is for them to get forward anyway.
Yeah, but they have to feel the struggle of getting forward. That's the whole point. That's why by the end it is literally just the security guy, his daughter, and Chris Evans, because the one person makes it to the end, and then they take over control. Yeah, I mean the going back to the clairvoyant, I think ultimately she was only there so she could reveal to Chris Evans that the kid is in the floor. Yep. Really, I think she was
I didn't
kind of
understand
traveling.
why she went for that in the floor. It's like, now you've kind of made sense.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
it's just, and that's again that kind of moment. I suddenly had that sort of jolting shift of, am I missing something here? Am I supposed to understand that she would know that sort of stuff? Is this a cultural thing? Or what? But
did Chris Evans lose his arm in that as well?
Yes, he did. But that was another thing that I only found out after the fact, and I don't know if anyone else picked up on this. Was that leaders had lost their arms over time, because when they were all back in the early days, when they were in the back of the carriage and they resorted to cannibalism, they would lop off limbs rather than eat whole people to keep themselves alive. And again, it was a bit like the plane sequence. It's kind of glossed over so quickly that you don't realise, or at least I didn't realise, the significance of Chris Evans having two arms and not thinking he was a leader because he had two arms.
Right.
Because he hadn't stepped up to the plate to lop off one of his own.
Yeah.
And that's why John Hurt has got two limbs missing at least.
Exactly. And
he does actually mention that as well. How can I be a good leader? I've got both my arms.
Yeah, exactly. And it's another one of those moments of kind of like, am I missing something here? I mean, did anyone else get that reference? Or because I only got it after the fact, I'll be honest with you.
No, I didn't know.
No, I didn't get it until the end.
Yeah, it was just another really odd moment of kind of like that kind of thing would add extra, pardon the phrasing, but extra spice to the matter and give you a little bit more context and world building. But it kind of glosses over things like that and the plane and a few other things that would have, if they were brought a bit more to the fore, I feel like might have had a bit more weight to them.
Did Wilford have something missing then?
No, but it was his train. That was the whole point. He was a leader without having to do it because it was his, his plaything. It was the cultural thing of the, how can I put it? The cultural thing of losing an arm was a thing of being in the back of the train, having to be in the back of the train.
That's because old Spud lost his arm as well.
Oh yeah, Spud lost his arm.
Spud.
Yeah. Shut me, keks. So yeah, again, it's kind of now one of those moments of kind of sitting there going, am I missing something, or is something just shot on past?
I think that would have clicked into position if Ed Harris had one arm or one leg, and you'd have been like, okay, because then you would have, maybe that would have been him fighting the way through. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't the original Wilford.
Or you could say that he has lost something, metaphorically. He hasn't got a soul. That's it.
Yeah, he's lopped that off. Well, I mean, that's the Tilda Swinton character going on about the fact that everyone sacrifices something regardless of where they are on the train, and you think, oh, that's just some naff platitude to keep them in place, but maybe that's it, because he does say something along the lines of, it's very, very lonely up here in the front of the train.
It's true though. Yeah, you have people in the rear of the train losing kids and losing arms. And then, like the druggy end, they're all losing their senses.
Yeah, losing their moral compass is what they're losing. But yeah, so I guess getting towards the end. Firstly, can I ask the bluntest of blunt questions? Do you think, had the kid not been revealed, that Chris would have taken the job of running the train?
Don't know.
I think he would have. Yeah.
Yeah, Darren?
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I really don't.
I think he was very, very tempted. I think he was,
especially after he found out.
Definitely, the scales were tipping that way. I think that's my reading on it.
Yeah, because
he was losing more and more of his morality as he went along, because you had the Jamie Bell character die, and we hear the story of his coming about and how they're related. And he just turns his back on him at some point, doesn't he? Knowing that he needs to get that Tilda Swinton character and leave him behind.
He also kills another pregnant woman as well. Chris Evans' character.
Oh yeah, the Alison Pill.
Yeah.
Was it teacher?
The teacher.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He kills her without. I mean, he sees what's going on. You don't see him sort of like just holding the knife or anything. He just picks up, fucking lobs it out because she's got a gun.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which again goes back to the whole thing of he's being, he's the one strong enough and ruthless enough to do it, sort of thing.
That's right.
Yeah. So he doesn't lose an arm; he loses his soul as he goes. I mean, yeah, and because the thing is, I thought he was going to go for it. And I thought that was going to be the ultimate. The first time I watched it, that is, I thought he was going to get to the point where he's just going to turn around, and that was going to be the whole point. The train's on a loop, and so is the interior of the train on a loop. People die, the whole things get killed off. The people at the back become the people at the front. The people at the front become the people at the back, and the circle keeps on turning. The wheel keeps on turning. So. When he turned out so when they suddenly went, oh, and ta-da, look, the kids are in the engine. It's like, yeah, that's the final step that he won't go past, and so therefore we can pull him back morally.
Yeah,
I mean, again, that goes back to the clairvoyant character, and it's like, was that really the sort of end game of it, that he'd need to have that moral final moment to bring him back, and in which case that's the only reason that clairvoyant's there.
Well, I thought for 1 minute, right, okay, that this scene was going to get even more fucked up, so I couldn't remember what happened at exactly what happened at the end, and I thought they're eating steaks, but we haven't seen the kids yet.
Yeah.
I thought that was is that what they've just consumed? Is he going to reveal that? And
especially after the whole Jamie Bell thing as well, saying about the character that he didn't eat
Mini
the
Baby
kid.
Bell. Sorry.
Nice.
Mini Baby Bell.
Beautiful work. Loving your work, my friend.
Thank you. He's always been a bit of a cheesy actor, that bloke. So.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So, I mean, once we got to the kids, the fact that the kid went into the reactor and just blindly got in there, and the other kid was in the engine just doing their thing. I mean, what were we supposed to be taking away from that? They've been indoctrinated. That they'd.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Was that
brainwashed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brainwashed.
I must admit, it's just as a little aside. I looked at the actual place where Ed Harris was living, and I thought, you're telling me you go for a shit in one of those drawers? Because I can't see a toilet.
Bringing it all back down to earth.
Exactly. Do you actually shit in one of those drawers, didn't you? Well, it's got to be a loo. It's got to be a pull-out loo, isn't it?
Have you ever tried to go for a shit on a train?
Yeah, just don't get that and the basin mixed up. All right, okay, for washing your face because that could be awkward.
Yeah, just a little, and pick out the wrong drawer with the socks in.
Yep.
Oh! Yeah. Okay, right. Let's get close to wrapping this up. So at the end, train goes off the rails, derailed, big boom. I mean, how do we feel the end is resolved? I mean, are we supposed to take away the fact that like these two are the only ones who plot armored their way out the fucking out the destroyed train,
and they got a polar bear look at them going, lunch.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's been a long time since I've seen melty water and also human meat. Yes.
Yeah. I don't suppose you have a glacier mint.
Yes, it's clearly minty. So how do we feel about that? Again, was it a metaphor? Was it a sort of Adam and Eve kind of thing? Adam and Eve 2.0?
You know what?
Bloody hope not, because that's got all sorts of weird connotations in its own.
It's this whole thing with a lot of films where they take something, they can't just make it, fuck, we are fucked. They have to think of it you have to just drop in a little bit of hope. They did this with Cormac McCarthy's The Road, right? The book, no hope at all, right? In the film, oh look, there's an insect, which must mean everything's going back to normal. So, hey, there's some hope for the world after all. And it just did they need to put that in there? Couldn't they just add them like, well, this is it, we are fucked? Because what's going to happen next is that's it. The human race ends with those two anyway.
So yeah, I mean that's what I was going to say is what are we supposed to be taking away from that ending? That they've destroyed the system. Yeah, exactly. Apart from either A, they're fucked, B, they've destroyed the system but still fucked, and so really we shouldn't have destroyed the system. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think the film is telling us the train is a metaphor for the Earth, and we have fucked the Earth because we haven't paid attention to it. But there is a class system on the Earth that we have to abide by and not mix up the balance of it. Because if you do, things come off the rails, it all gets broken, and you get eaten by polar bears. That's what happens.
Wow.
Well, if you screw up the Earth, you have nothing left. You are all dead. Yeah. I don't think they make it. I know they're saying, things are starting to melt. Yeah, give it a couple of weeks, maybe. You're still in kind of a deep freeze. I think you're talking maybe another 100 years before things start looking a bit green.
Things are starting to thaw out, but it's still going to be a few weeks before you can have those pork chops for dinner. It really is.
Shit, I should have taken them out of the fridge.
Yeah. Hello, Alan. This is
Alan. Yeah. Don't forget to take the pork chops out the freezer. So what about you, Jim? What do you take away from that ending?
I think it's one of those endings where I think it's quite deft because you can see it as ambiguous, or you can see it as pessimistic, depending on your personal what your jam is.
what your personal viewpoint is what you're saying. It's okay. Well, you can say I'm feeling cynical.
But I think it is kind of it wouldn't work. It was kind of like, yes, hooray, and quick montage, and the built Butlins on ice. that wouldn't work. That'd be really. And likewise, just having them all shut up, them all just like Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining. That'd be kind of it's too much. This is kind of the Goldilocks ending of that's just about right. I think it's open ended enough, but you can draw your own conclusions. But depending, what else you took from the rest of the movie, really.
But what is your conclusion on it then? How do you feel it's kind of played out?
I just hope he learned a lot from that Eskimo woman, because you're going to need it.
Right. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Because I was going to say, because I'm left kind of wondering. I'm left kind of wondering what we're supposed to take away from it, really, as far as as far as they've destroyed the city, destroyed the world to free themselves from a system, and in turn, generally speaking, fuck themselves in doing it. So, is that supposed to be seen as a positive or a negative thing? And as you say, it's kind of predicated on your own personal jam of the whole thing. But I just find it a very odd message to take away, because you can take away either way: a positive saying, "Oh, they've survived and the world will carry on," in which case you say, "Okay, so she's gonna have to basically kickstart the human race with a 5-year-old kid," in which case, ew. Or you're gonna have to go the other way and go, no, they're fucked. In which case, by smashing the system and freeing themselves, they're doomed.
Yeah.
In which case, what you take away from that? But again, this is all me. Just so as you say, Jim, it's your jam, isn't it? It's like, how cynical are you going to be? Well, according to me, very. But yeah, I didn't quite know how to react to the finale, whether I was supposed to feel hopeful or not about the whole thing. But yeah,
I think the point is kind of breaking out that closed loop. And to me, it's fine thinking of, I think, the problem people have, we get caught in these loops of our own devising. It has to be like this. But it's all just, don't we get too philosophical this time of night, but it's all just ideas. You know what I mean? It's kind of, but we have to have money, you have to work, you have to do this, you have to go 9 to 5, you have to be miserable. Hang on, why? Is there actually is it like gravity? Is this actually something like immutable like that? Or is it just something we made up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is in the cycle of this is how you break the cycle of kind of government, rebels, revolution, another government, another revolution.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's breaking the loop, and, sometimes you got to roll the dice and take a risk.
Yeah.
It's think outside the box. In this case, think outside the box car, if you will.
Okay. In which case, on that humdinger of a pun, I think we should wrap it up. But unless anyone's got anything else they want to bring to the table before we do,
I've got two real quick ones.
Go for it.
When John Hurt's character was killed, did anyone notice that he didn't have a peg leg?
No.
Yeah, it's one thing that I just noticed. I was like, that's taking it away. God damn it.
Mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, the old stock alarm that they used. It's like,
stock alarm?
Yeah. Do you remember when they broke through, when they first broke through and the alarm went off? I used that alarm on my phone.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's like an Apple stock thing that you can use.
Well, is it though? Because Apple famously don't like letting people use their stuff unless it's heroic. So
no, I think it's on GarageBand. So
right,
it's free to use for everyone to use.
Okay, fair enough.
It's just it takes me out, and it also reminds me of waking up in the morning, which is annoying.
Right. Well, I can't comment on that. I'm afraid didn't really register with me. I don't know if any registered with anyone else, but cool. Okie dokie. Well, and on that note, pass the pun and give us the alarm. And now it's time for finding out what you guys think. Do you like Snowpiercer? Let us know. Throw in comments on the old Facebook group. Throw in feedback to emails at feedback@blackdogpodcast.com. Let us know what you think, and we'll read it out. Now, we've got to find out what's next week's film, and it's Elton's choice.
It is, and I had probably 20 movies coming into this now.
Oh, right. Okay.
Thinking about it, and yep. I was umming and ahhing about certain ones that we've been speaking about before. And through that film, it was mentioned about Hunt for Red October, and I thought, we've had the Snowpiercer train. I wonder if we can increase that. But I thought about the film Flight Pan, which has a huge plane that they get lost kids on. I'm like, we could do that. But I decided to try and stay on the theme of what we have at the moment. And I've decided to go for The Platform, which is on Netflix.
Interesting.
Okay. So more social metaphors. more cultural metaphors. Hooray! Yeah. Cool. Okay, The Platform on Netflix. Interesting. Okay, I'll go around the table then. Has anyone seen The Metaphor? Jim, have you seen The Metaphor before?
No. It's one I've been meaning to watch and keep forgetting about. So
right.
This is perfect for me.
Lovely. Yes. Nice. A film Jim hasn't seen is always a good one because that brings on the conversations. Right, Darren, what about you? Have you seen The Platform?
I've not seen it, but I do want to see it. It's one of those ones you mentally put on your list of ones to watch at some point. So,
Okie dokie. I take it you haven't seen it, Elton?
I have seen it, yes.
Oh, you have seen it. Okay. And I haven't seen it. I will say this. I have a bit of a revulsion thing going on when I start seeing all the, rotten food, gooey food that's been smushed to fuck, and people sort of sticking their hands in it and going for a bit of a nosh. So I might be having a tough time on this one.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying now. A lot of this film might just be me. A lot of the review might just be me going, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how we get on with that. Brilliant. So, yes, The Platform, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we'll be watching next week. And, let's go over to Pimp's Corner. And, Jim, do you want to tell us what's going on hypnagoria.com?
Yes, I've just today dropped an episode talking about the stage production of Frankenstein, What I Watched.
What you did done watch?
What I did done watch, yes. We also released, I think, probably the longest commentary club we did, which is the George A. Romero Dawn of the Dead, the Cannes Film Festival cut, which is the full fat version.
Yep.
Which I was quite proud of. I think we got some new insights on Dawn of the Dead by actually watching and talking through it. So I was quite pleased with that.
Awesome.
And I think Friday there's another commentary club dropping on the Young Ones. And on Sunday, there's the final ever Flaxman Lowe occult detective ghost story appearing as well.
Nice. And that's all over on hypnagoria.com.
It is.
Bloody lovely. Brilliant. And what about you, Elton? What's happening over at Rogue 2?
Talking about cars going around in circles on the Grand Prix podcast, and I'm still wandering around in the frozen wastes on the Great Bear Island in the long dark.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely. So
and carrying too much stuff.
Carrying way too much stuff.
That's the problem. You go on your own, you just got to carry your entire base on your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. But I might need them 12 shells.
You might. You
won't. You never know. That's the
might.
problem. And this cloth. Yes, I have 140 pieces of cloth, but I might need them.
Fucking use them. Turn them into something. Anything.
Be creative, man.
Yeah, make a sail out of them and a fucking roller skate and just pull yourself along on a fucking roller skate sail.
I can't I'm a hoarder by trade. I can't help it.
God, sometimes it's like going through your own personal psychosis in game form, isn't it?
If I could shit in a bag and keep it, I would.
That's got to be used for Elton AI, surely.
Trust me, I've just marked that in and out. You have no. If I could shit in a bag, I would. EltonMcManus.ai. Right, there you go. Fantastic work. Okay. Well, I'm assuming you and I, Daryl, are in the same boat of not being able to promote anything other than this podcast. Fantastic. Exactly. Okay, well, in which case, let's wrap it all up. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
Not a problem.
And just so you know, The first joke I told is the catchphrase. Ha 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 ha. So now, not only do you jump to the end, you cheating bastards, you've now got to go all the way back to the front.
Nice work, sir.
So there you go.
Elegant.
An elegant solution from a more civilized age. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. So throw that up on the Facebook group. Let us know that you've listened to the podcast all the way through to the end. And then listen to it all the way to the start again. And yes, we'll see you all next week for the platform. Bilious fog. Anyway, and yeah, we'll see you then. Till then, take care. Tatty bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.